We are back and got a bit of a late start today. We had a snowstorm come through, so I spent most of the morning outside shoveling. I'm also in charge of making dinner this weekend, so I had to make some chili. It's about noon now, and we got the coffee situation recharged up, ready to go. I had heard from Ryan at Ryan Co Racing that the shock was ready to get picked up, but because of the snowstorm, I couldn't get out of my driveway yesterday to go get it. So it's not a big deal. I think today we're going to work on getting the swing arm packed with grease and back together so that whenever we do get the shock back from Ryan, I can just bolt that up and be ready to go. Episode 7. So I did make a post on my Instagram account about a week ago notifying everybody of what happened. We are looking for episode 7, and the authorities have told me that it was last seen clutched in the arms of a monkey on I-80 being hauled up into a tree near the Danville exit. The last time they talked to me, though, they said they're on the trail of it and they expect to find it in the next month. I did get in touch with the DOT, and they were going to be putting out an Amber Alert to all the interstates out of here, 476 and 80. I think 81 as well. And we're going to try to get the location on episode 7 before it gets too far away from us. So until we track down episode 7 and find out where that went, we're just having to keep going with the video series and continuing on with the build. So we're going to get started on that swing arm. So one thing I noticed taking this thing apart was that at some point I must have crashed and bent that. So you can see it's got a little bit of a bend in it. So I think what we're going to do is heat it up with the torch and see if we can bend that back straight. So that worked pretty good. I actually wasn't too worried about breaking that because it's kind of thin where it did bend. So don't see any cracking on it. And I got basically just lined this up with this. And if we have to make adjustments in the future when we get this on the bike, we will, but it's okay for now. So for the grease we're going to be using today, in the past I've always used this Silcoline RG2 stuff. You can see this tub I got is pretty low, and it's worked good, and it is a waterproof grease. However, we're going to be trying this Motarded FETT 2000. You know, every time I open up the suspension components, it smells like a disgusting swamp inside. So it's always worked good. However, we're going to try this stuff out and see if it works better, and I'll be able to gauge that by whatever the suspension components smell like, you know, whenever I open them up again, if they have that disgusting swamp smell. Or if they don't, I'll be able to tell, you know. So from the Motarded website, it's a long-term grease actually made for bicycles, fluorescent yellow in color, calcium-based, pressure-resistant, and it's also, you know, they say that's water repellent. And the one reason I want to try this out is because it's ideal for lubricating bearings, hubs, joints, and headsets. And it does not attack the seals, the elastomer rubber that those are made out of, and it prevents galvanic corrosion. So we're gonna give this stuff a try, and beyond it kind of having a cool color, see what it smells like whenever I get these suspension apart in the future to service it. I'll be able to gauge the effectiveness of it based off the smell. So I wouldn't say this episode is going to be too exciting, and not like the last one. I do want to say thank you again to Kenny for coming over and helping me film that last one. That's probably, I think that's the best episode that we've had yet. That was awesome. We got some great shots of the engine going together, and just me not having to hold the camera and worry about it was a big help. So thank you, Kenny, again for coming out for that. For this, I think I'm just gonna set up a time lapse because my hands are gonna be pretty greasy here in a minute. Not gonna be able to mess with the camera too much. So we're gonna set up a time lapse, maybe do some cool shots of the bearings getting packed with grease, and just kind of see what happens.
Weird, actually. I'm disoriented. I'm not sure where I am. I know where I am, but it feels odd. I'm okay.
swing arm we have constructed. Nothing's tight though, but the bearing's all packed, and here's how the numbering system I had works really good. Putting it together, it doesn't leave it up to guess for anything. So we're gonna get the swing arm back into the bike, and not gonna tighten anything until we get the shock in. So once the shock's in and the swing arm's there and everything's bolted into place, then we'll actually finish torquing the engine in and getting that all tightened up as one unit together.
Stay here beside me. You couldn't do a single thing to surprise me. With me or by me, crawling all over your body just like ivy.
I'm in love with her. Who said anything's
I can feel you in the forest, I can feel you in the trees, I can feel you in the breeze, I can feel you when I breathe. I am sinking oh so deep, I cannot think, I cannot sleep. All I think about is you and how you are not here with me. The rain is coming down and caving in my house of leaves. I might tell you how I feel just when you are about to leave.
Well, we're done for the day. We got pretty far. The motor's in and torqued down, plus the swing arm. So I think the next thing that's gonna have to happen is probably install the throttle body and get this hole covered up, and then some of the wiring harness plugged back in. But I'm gonna take the night off tonight and kind of think about where, what parts and what to start doing next, because there's no real set way to do it, and I don't want to have to take anything off to put something on that I forgot along the process. But it's coming together, and just going slow, but keep working at it.